Okay, so I just got back from the office, and I have a new MacBook. Thank you, Aptos Labs. And today in this video, I'm gonna try and deploy my first Move module. So today's my second day joining Aptos Labs, and I mean, I did some studying before I joined. I mean, I had to. I had interviews, right? But I'm a complete beginner in terms of Aptos Move and all the developer tools that Aptos offers. So, I need to spend some time learning about the language, learning about the tools, and the Aptos documentation has a series of beginner guides that I can go through to learn how to use the Aptos CLI, how to work with Aptos Move, and all the SDKs that they provide. So I thought it might be fun to just record myself going through these guides, learning as I go, and see how a complete newbie like me gets onboarded to Aptos. I don't know, maybe if you've been on the sideline kind of thinking about, should I learn Move? Oh, is it going to be hard? I heard it's Rust-based. Oh, I don't know Rust. Well, maybe watching these videos can help you kind of be assured that you'll be able to start your journey and start building in Move on Aptos. So Aptos recently updated their developer documentation. It's more organized and streamlined. It looks really nice. So today, what I'm going to do is actually kind of go through their beginner guide. You see they have these beginner guides over here, and see if I can successfully go through those guides. Now, one thing to note is that this is a completely new laptop. I don't have anything installed here. I did set up a couple things though before, just because I don't want to waste your time. So I have VS Code installed because I'm going to be using that as my main IDE to go through this guide. And actually, that's it. Yeah, if you're a complete beginner on Aptos, this guide will kind of help you see what it's like to start from completely fresh state. Nothing installed, no configurations, and let's see how far I can get. So if you want to follow along, definitely come to aptos.dev, and you can watch this video and go through this guide with me. So let's see how we can do this. Okay, let's go to the Get Started section. Get started. Okay, what would you like to learn? Okay. Developer setup. Okay, this is more like what I want. And I'm going to be deploying a smart contract. So let's see how I can set up my developer environment for a smart contract. Okay, first thing, install CLI. Okay, let's click on that. Aptos CLI is a tool to help you compile and test Move contracts. Great. Okay, install the Aptos CLI on Mac. Cool. Okay, for Mac, the easiest way to install the Aptos CLI is with the package manager brew. Okay, in here you have brew installed. I probably don't have brew installed. Let's check. iTerm. Bring this terminal here. Let's make this bigger for you guys. Cool. All right. Brew update. Okay, command now phone. So I don't have brew installed. So let's go to brew. Copy this command, paste it, and okay. Install brew. Now, for those of you who don't know what brew is, Homebrew, it's a package manager for Mac OS. And I mean, you can install a bunch of packages using this with simple commands. So it's like the go-to package manager for Mac OS. Okay, so it seems like brew is installed. I probably need to restart my terminal. Nice. Make it bigger again. Cool. And brew update. Nice. Brew is installed and up to date. All right, let's go back to the guide. Okay. The command to install the CLI is brew install Aptos. Easy enough. brew install Aptos. Cool. Let's see if our CLI is properly installed. Aptos 7.6.1. Perfect. All right. So I have the CLI installed. Let's go back to the original guide. Okay, I installed the CLI. What's next? Setup editor or IDE. Okay, add the following extension to your editor of choice to make Move development easier. Okay, we have the JetBrains IDE and the VS Code extension. I got some insider info, and the Aptos Labs team actually created a new Move extension for VS Code. And I hear it's much better and cleaner, but it's just not completely released yet. So I don't know, maybe I'll just skip the extensions for now and just go to the guide. Okay, the rest is create the smart contract and build and compile and deploy. Okay, and for that part, I am going to go to your first Move module guide. Cool, let's go through this and see if I can deploy my first module. All right, the Aptos blockchain allows developers to write Turing-complete smart contracts called modules with the secure by design Move language. Great. It all starts with the Aptos CLI creating an account which will store the deployed, published Move module. This tutorial will help you understand Move modules by guiding you through setting up a minimal Aptos environment, then how to compile, test, publish, and interact with Move modules on the Aptos blockchain. Okay, so that sounds exactly what I want. So I will learn how to set up my environment, which I actually just did, create a DevNet account and fund it, compile and test the Move module, publish or deploy a Move module to the Aptos blockchain, interact with the module, and the next steps. Perfect. Cool. Let's look at the setup section. It's telling me to install the Aptos CLI, which I've already done. Okay, open a new terminal. All right, I will do that. I actually have a terminal open, so that's fine. Verify the installation. I did that. Create a project folder. Okay, and I'll just copy this command over here. Let me actually go to my documents folder, and I will copy that and make the folder. Navigate to the project folder and initialize your account. Okay, and to do that, I have to run aptos init and press enter for each step of setup to create a test account on DevNet. Okay, let's try that. Let's go into my first module folder. Great, I'm in there. And what was it? Aptos init. Okay, it's asking me configuring your profile. Default, choose network from DevNet, testnet. Defaults to DevNet. Okay, hit enter. Enter your private key. No input, it will generate a new key. Okay. Or keep one the present. All right, I will do that. So it generated a new account for me, and it funded it with some Aptos. And results, it's successful. Cool. All right, let's go to the next step. You should see a success message like this, which I did. And let's check this note. What you might not have noticed is that Aptos CLI has created a new hidden folder with a .ignore and config.yaml, which contains the account information, including private key, public key, and account address. You can view hidden files. Okay. Let's see. ls all. Ah, there we go. It has the .aptos. If I cd into that, it's got the .gitignore, config.yaml, just like the note says. Perfect. Optional, explore what you just did on chain. Copy your account address. Open the Aptos Explorer and ensure you're on DevNet and search for your account. Cool. Okay, don't press enter. Got it. All right, let's try that. So, okay, Aptos CLI is set up for account. This is the public key for my created account. Let's go to Aptos Explorer. We are in DevNet indeed. Let's search to Explorer, and here we go. We have this account. Perfect. Aptos CLI has created a dev account for me and has funded it with 1 APT. Very cool. Okay. So I did check that my account was successfully created on DevNet. Now let's go to step 3, writing and compiling your first module. All right, it's about to get exciting. Now that we have our environment set up and an account created, let's write and compile our first Move module. Unlike Ethereum, where contracts exist independently, Move ties everything to accounts. Interesting. Both modules and their resources. Let's start with a simple example to understand the core concept. All right, we have this pretty looking diagram here. This diagram illustrates the relationship between module ownership, token ownership, and the Move blockchain state. It helps visualize how modules and resources are tied to accounts, emphasizing the unique aspects of Move's design compared to other blockchain platforms. Cool. All right, so we have this giant global state, global storage on the Move blockchain. We have these addresses, so these are accounts. And each account can hold resources and modules. Okay, so it's not like Ethereum where modules or smart contracts on Aptos are an account by itself. It's owned by these accounts. Interesting. What is a Move module? Move modules are similar to smart contracts in other blockchains with some key differences. Resources. Unlike Solidity, where state is stored in contract variables, Move uses resources, special data types that can only exist in one place at a time and are always tied to an account. Right, the resources are owned by accounts. Module-based. Rather than deploying entire contracts as independent units like in Solidity, Move code is organized into reusable modules that can share and handle resources across boundaries. Okay, modules are more like standard library packages that can be published together or separately, offering finer-grained control over code organization. Okay, so it's more composable, more modular, reusable. Got it. Safety by design. Move's type system and resource semantics help prevent common smart contract vulnerabilities. Cool. If you're familiar with Rust, I am not, unfortunately, you'll find Move syntax very similar. Okay, cool. Your first Move module. Our first module will be a simple message storage system that allows accounts to store and retrieve messages. Nice. Let's create a new Move project within our My First Module folder. Okay. Initialize the project. You can initialize the new Move project with Aptos Move init -- name My First Module. All right, let's run that. Copy. Let's come over here. Let's go back to My First Module folder. Yep, it's empty. Copy that. Success. Cool. Created some stuff here. Very cool. And then it's saying, this creates a project structure with the source directory and a move.toml file. And it did. Cool. Create the module file. All right, from here on, I'm just gonna go to my IDE and do this. Code. I don't have it set. Okay. Let me open VS Code. All right. Open folder. My first module. Open. Yes, I am the author. Let's make that bigger. All right, we are inside the My First Module folder. So it's telling me create a new file, message.move under the sources folder. Okay, I will do that. Message.move. Cool. With our module code. All right, we have this module. All right. I'm getting red lines. Kind of scary, but I'll ignore it for now. All right, let's break down this module. We define a message holder resource type that can store a string message. This is talking about the struct over here. So this is a resource because it has the key attribute there. And it holds a message, which is a string. Okay. The set message function allows an account to store a message. All right, let's take a look at that function right here. So it's a public function, so anyone can call that. It's called set message. It takes in a signer and a message string. It's acquiring the message holder, so it's using the struct over here. And the first thing it's doing is using the signer module to get the address of the signer that's passed in over here. And then it's checking if there is this resource already created under this account. And if it does exist, move from, I believe that is just reading that resource. And if it doesn't exist, it calls the move to account, and it's creating that struct over here. So it's creating this struct and storing this resource under this account. Simple. Get message allows anyone to retrieve a stored message. All right. This takes in an address. It's returning a string, acquiring the message holder struct again. It's asserting that the message holder resource under this account exists. And if it does exist, it's going to do bar global message holder account address. So read that resource, store in the message holder, and we are returning the message that is stored inside of that struct. Got it. All right. Yeah, the acquire keyword indicates which resources the functions need to access. Move to and move from handles the storage of resources under accounts. Got it. Move has some unique characteristics that make it different from other smart contracting languages. Okay. Resource types are used to represent assets and state that can only exist in one place at a time. Okay, so it can't be duplicated, I guess. Ability modifiers like key, store, and drop control how values can be used. Explicit acquire annotations tell us which resources a function might access. Got it. All right. I mean, this guide really isn't a guide on Aptos Move. It's just kind of going through the flow of compiling, testing, and publishing a Move module. So I guess I'll learn more about Move in another tutorial. But let's continue with this guide. It's asking me compile the module. Okay. And we can compile the module with Aptos Move compile -- named addresses my first module equals default. The named addresses flag maps our module name to our account's address. In Move, modules must be associated with an address at compile time, right? Because modules are tied to accounts. And we're using default, which points to the account we just created. So this default account is the one we set up at the first stage of this guide with Aptos init. So my Aptos CLI has created an account, and that account is set to be the default account. Cool. And the Aptos CLI is really nice that it handles all this for you, that I don't really have to worry about it. All right, let's compile my module. I will copy that, open the terminal. Let's see if this will work. Cool. I got the result. I believe this is my default account that was created, right? Yep, 915F. 915F. Great. So we created this message module, and it ties to the default account that Aptos CLI has created for me. Cool. So the red line that we see over here is probably because I didn't install the extension for Move. Yeah. Okay. You should see the message like this. I did that, so great. Great job. Thank you. All right, so I successfully compiled my module. Now let's test and debug my module. Testing and debugging are crucial parts of Move module development. Move has built-in support for unit testing and debug printing. This is really important here because smart contracts usually handle with funds, and you want to be extra careful, and you want to be double sure that there are no bugs in your contract. So having built-in support for unit testing and debug printing sounds like a win. Okay, add debug prints. First, let's modify our message module to add some debug prints. Update your message.move. Okay, so what is it doing? It's adding this debug function from the standard library, and we're using debug to print the message. I see. So this is how you can do debug printing. Very cool. All right, I'll just copy that and paste it. Cool. And create test file. To create our test, a new file, message_test.move under sources. All right. Under sources, create a file called message_test.move. And I will copy that and paste it. So it seems like the test itself is written in a module. It has this test tag, and I assume you can define your test functions like this. Cool. All right, run the test. To run the test, you do Aptos Move test -- name the addresses my first module equals default. All right, I will do that. So with the Aptos CLI, you can compile and you can test and you can publish all of it with the Aptos CLI, which is really nice. Okay, copying that, run it. It's building my first module, and there we go. It ran the unit test, debug. Oh, it also prints out the debug prints that are defined over here. You see, the first debug print is printing the message, which returned hello world. And the second debug print is returning creating new message, which we got over here. Nice. And the test results, the green, okay. That's what all developers love to see. Nice. So it's really easy to set up tests for your module. And so you don't really have to jump through hoops to write tests for your module. You just create a test folder, the test file, and you just write your test in the module. Nice. You should see an output like this. I did see that, so I successfully tested my module. If you encounter errors while testing, I didn't, but here are some common issues and solutions. Make sure all module dependencies are properly imported. Account address matches the named addresses parameter. Verify that test functions have the test attribute. Gotcha. Okay, debugging tips. Use debug print in test functions. I see. So I guess the recommendation is to just have these debug prints in test modules and not the actual module itself. Debug prints will show up automatically. Debug statements will only work in tests, not in production code. That's expected. To debug module state, print account addresses with this and that. Cool. All right, let's go to step 5, publishing your module. All right, so After successfully compiling and testing your module, this is probably the workflow that smart contract developers are going to be going through when they're building on Aptos. You can publish it to the Aptos blockchain. Perfect. This process deploys your code so that it's accessible on chain. Publish the module. To publish it, as expected, we use the Aptos CLI, Aptos Move, publish. That's just named addresses, my first module equals default. All right, we're seeing a pattern now. Okay, go to my terminal, publish my module. Do you want to submit a transaction for a range of this amount of octaves at a gas unit price of 100 octaves? Yes. Transaction submitted and it executed successfully. All right, let's see what it returns. Okay, the transaction submitted, it's giving me the link to the Explorer. That's really nice. Let me go to that. Cool. Status success. Sender is my account. Smart contract function. Publish package transaction. I see. It's showing me the gas fees that I paid, when it published. Very cool. All right. What else? What else? It also returned the results. Transaction hash, gas used, sender, sequence number. Sequence number, I believe, is the counter on your account that keeps track of how many transactions this account has sent. And since this account is completely new, and this is the first transaction that it's sending, that's why the sequence number is 0. Success, true. Love it. Timestamp, version, VM status, executed successfully. All right. Let's go back to the guide. Confirm the transaction. I typed yes. Yes, I got this confirmation. Seeing your contract on chain. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. After successful publication, you can verify your module is on chain by following these steps. Open the Explorer, check the transaction, search for your account address. You should notice that there is a new transaction in your account, the code, : publish package txn function. View your balance, click the coins tab, see that you have less than 1 APT, right, because we paid for gas. And find the module. Look under the modules tab. Right. So this is what kind of confused me when I first came to Aptos, but now it's making more sense. Because modules, when you publish them, it's not like Ethereum where the contract itself is an account and has an account address. There is no contract account on Aptos. Whereas on Aptos, when you publish the module, it gets added under the deployer accounts resources. Okay, so let's go to the Explorer. That's the transaction. Here's the sender. Let's go to my accounts page. Yep, I'm seeing the published package transaction over here. So this is a transaction that published the module. Let's go to coin. Yep, I have less than 1 APT. Let's go to the modules tab. There it is, my first module. Very cool. Yep, it's giving me the module name, package name, upgrade number, package manifest. Nice. Code, no module. Okay, so I can't really see the code. Oh, I can. Oh, interesting. The source code is plain text uploaded by the deployer. So I get to see the code base when I publish it. And also the ABI. Very cool. Can I interact with the module here? Wait, let me go back to the guide. It probably says something about this. Okay. Yep, I verified the module exists. You can share the Explorer link to your module, and others can even interact with the module by connecting a wallet. Interacting with your module. Okay, there we go. Now that your module is published, you can interact with it through the Aptos CLI. So I can set a message using the CLI. Okay, so there is a command called Aptos Move run. So that's the command to call a function, a module function. we have a flag function ID, and this is where we set the function name, set message. Wonder what default : message is. Default is the default account that Aptos CLI has created. We're interacting with the module that's under that account, and we're calling the set message function. --args. So this is how we specify the argument for the function, and we're passing in string hello Aptos. Now I believe set message took in the signer as well. I guess this gets passed in automatically. It just reads the account that's calling the function, because it's only taking in one argument. Let's try it. Copy it. Let's go to my terminal, paste that in, and let's run it. Do you want to submit a transaction? Yes. Transaction submitted, and it executed successfully. Nice. You'll see a gas fee prompt similar to what you saw during publishing. Confirm, and I got the confirmation. To view your message, view your stored message by checking under resources on the Explorer. Resources. So, okay, let's go to the Explorer, Resources tab, and let's see, package registry. Here we go. Message holder. This is the struct resource that was created. And there we go. We have the message, hello Aptos. Nice. Wait, let me try that again. Okay, copy that again. This time, I'm going to say, hello Chris. I will submit that, yes. Cool, executed successfully. Wow, it auto updates. I don't even have to refresh the page. Now the resource holds hello Chris. Beautiful. And celebrate! I did it! And that took about 30 minutes, I would say. And I was reading the guide too, so if you guys were to do this by yourself, you guys could probably finish this in like 15 minutes. And you will have your first Move module deployed on DevNet. That's pretty cool. How long did it take you? Yeah, 30 minutes for me, 15 minutes for you, probably. All right, next step. Congratulations, you've successfully compiled, added tests, published, and used your contract through the CLI. Now your published Move module can be connected to just like an API via one of our many official SDKs. Right. Because no application is going to be interacting with your module through the CLI. That's probably more for the developer who wants to just quickly test the function. So here are some suggested next steps to get a deeper understanding of Move module. Try modifying the module to add new feature. You can use the Move book to build your understanding. To understand how Move works on chain, you can learn about Move's resource system. If you're building an application, learn how to use the SDK, and join the Aptos Discord channel. Nice. And some supporting documentation. Very cool. Okay, so that was pretty easy. Yeah, that was super quick. So I started from a complete blank state MacBook that I just got from Aptos Labs. I even have to install Homebrew. And I was able to do all of this in about 30 minutes. For those of you who are watching this video, you guys should really just try out the beginner guides here. They're super straightforward. They're very detailed. I didn't run into any issues. You might, but in those cases, definitely you can reach out to the DevRel team or the community developers on Discord, or we have a dev discussion on the Aptos GitHub. So you'll be able to find some help to help you finish this guide. I guess I'll end the video here. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the walkthrough. If you like this type of content, let me know in the comments. I'll try to work on more walkthroughs, going through the tutorials. Love to hear what you think about this video style, the guide that we just went through. Are there any section that wasn't too clear to you? Was it confusing? Anything that we need to improve? let us know in the comments and we will make those changes for you. That being said, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go eat my dinner. Bye!